I've noticed that the bags under my eyes have been getting larger and larger, and I'd rather they weren't there.
There is a hereditary thing in my father and through my grandmother about this, my eyes business. I'm seeing it more and more in my face.
I'd like to actually see a difference in my skin texture and my complexion, because I have a lot of acne scarring, which I had many years ago.
3 people who have issues with their skin they would like resolved. They've elected to be treated with ActiveFX, a virtually pain-free light system that improves skin tone and surface imperfections with minimal downtime. Mr. Max Murison is the consultant surgeon who will be treating Jackie, Anupa and Graham with ActiveFX.
The ActiveFX laser treatment is an extremely simple process in which we use a laser to just gently heat the outer layer of the skin and achieve contraction, so we get shrinkage of the tissues and we get rid of a very superficial outer layer of skin that takes away pigmentation, takes away pre-malignant conditions and heals within 4 days.
To be retained as a screen rather than as tall trees.
Jackie Tucker runs a successful garden design company. She needs to look her best, particularly when meeting clients, and would like aspects of her face rejuvenated.
I'd like to have the skin under my eyes tightened up, rejuvenated, the crow's feet that I don't see but others do, and I have some blemishes on the sides of my nose, including little veins there, that I'd like to have removed if possible, and also under my chin, which is starting to feel the weight of gravity. I think I'd like to have that, if it's possible, just tightened up a little.
Well, I mean, it's quite a wide area, so...
Anupa Panjabi suffered with acne when she was young and has always wanted to be rid of the resulting scars.
I'm hoping to improve the texture of my skin as well as tighten it so my acne scars are not as visible as they are right now, and that's the main focus for my treatment, is working around my acne scars as well as the pigment under my eyes, and hoping to lighten that and have a more even and softer complexion.
Yeah, loft conversion.
It's a strenuous existence running a building firm, yet when talking to clients, Graham Forster needs to look positive and alert.
8:30. I would like to see if we could kind of firm up my eyelids a little bit. Maybe get rid of the beginnings of the crabby feet around the bottom of the eye. Tighten up the area around my eyes.
The most common area we would treat as an isolated problem is around the eye for the early fine line wrinkles. These aren't just in isolation, these are caused by muscle contracture, so we'd sometimes talk to patients about additional therapies to maintain and maximise the result of the ActiveFX treatment. Because the laser stimulates your collagen to fill up these little indentations under the scarring and rejuvenate your fine lines around your eyes.
I think I'm very encouraged by the new technology today, because there's no downtime, very little of it. You're not going under the knife.
This isn't surgery, it is a surface treatment to the skin that is much less than a chemical peel, but much greater in terms of its result. The second pass sometimes is a little bit more uncomfortable, so it's always a case of just seeing how you are with it. It's all done with local anaesthetic topical cream. There's no needles, so there's no bruising, and anybody who's had electrolysis or IPL treatment would tell us that that is more uncomfortable than ActiveFX. And there's fine lines across the chin and upper lip, which all will benefit.
A little bit concerned about the number of days required afterwards, whether or not I would have some burning sensation or tingling at night time when I was trying to sleep.
You have probably at most 4 days downtime. Many clinics will offer treatment on a Thursday. Most patients are back to work on the Monday. The ActiveFX technique leaves an almost sealed wound. So
the treatments that are available are less invasive. I think that as people dye their hair, why shouldn't they do something to help their skin?
I think people would want to do something with their appearance for various reasons. Like, one is confidence.
With acne scarring, it's important that when we stretch the skin, that the scars become flatter. If the scars are dense and they don't flatten, then we'll not see any difference. For you, they all seem to flatten quite nicely.
It is obvious that you've done something. That's what you're hoping for, a change. So it's not something I would hide and say I've not done or avoid a conversation. In fact, if I've done something that's made me feel better, I like to share it.
I just hope that people don't turn around and say, "What's happened to you? You look different." I just hope they don't say very much, but that I can feel younger in myself.
If we can do something at the latter end of the week, and then we've got the weekend, arguably if one's back to work the following Monday morning, why not?
Jackie, Anupa and Graham chose to have their ActiveFX treatment on the same day. Mr. Murison made his preparations and everyone applied a local anaesthetic about an hour and a half before their treatment.
Now, if you get some in the eye, it's going to sting just for a short while, and then it'll go numb. So don't worry, it won't do any harm.
When I met the surgeon, I was immediately reassured because I was a little nervous, thinking, what am I in for now? And my face is the window to the world. And he was very careful in what he did and reassuring.
It's an irritation. Of course you want it to finish, of course you want to get to the end of it, and you know it is going to come to the end of it, and it's a very short thing. It was under 10 minutes, the whole procedure.
That's lovely.
Just 2 weeks later, and Jackie, Anupa and Graham are ready for their photo shoot.
It has worked. The scars that I've had on my face have gone. My skin's glowing. I have new and fresh skin, so I feel a lot lighter and a lot more confident, less self-conscious.
2 weeks later, the skin is feeling very much more rejuvenated. The tingling sensations have almost vanished, and I have a new skin. I'm very pleased.
I feel like I've been on a good, relaxing holiday. I feel refreshed. I don't feel tired around my eyes, and that's something I used to suffer, actually. So that's... I'm beginning to get used to the fact that I don't suffer that any longer. And I feel my eyes aren't quite... they just don't feel quite so sort of sloppy or baggy. So something's happened, that's for sure.
Fabulous.
The huge difference in my life because I haven't had to feel like I needed to cover anything up. I've always had to wear makeup on, cover the scars and then leave the house, which meant that I was very self-conscious about it, and I'm not anymore. I can just walk out saying, well, this is the way I am, this is my fresh skin, look at it.
Tilt your head slightly that way. That's it.
The reactions since has been, oh, I see, there are some changes. Yes. It's met generally with approval.
That's fabulous.
I've had some really good feedback. They just look at me and say, wow, you look good today, or your skin's looking really nice, or you look very fresh, you look very rested, or you're glowing, and that actually counts because they don't know I've been through the treatment, so you know that it's worked.
Redford, I see a twinkle of a Robert Redford in there somewhere.
It's maybe a little bit more alert, actually. It's made me feel a little bit more alive, a little bit more alert.
That's lovely. Really nice.
My forehead is feeling very much smoother. And as an improvement, I can feel the skin there is a little bit tighter.
A certain level of bagginess has actually gone from the bottom of my eyes. And I do feel the tops of my eyelids a little bit tauter and tighter.
I had my whole face done.
Oh, wow.
On my face, the skin is much smoother altogether. And in my neck, it's also very nice and smooth now.
Oh, look at that. Sounds a beautiful family.
After having had the ActiveFX treatment and noticing the huge difference that it's made on the patchiness of my skin, the discoloration, the acne scarring, I'd have to recommend it.
Other people are saying it's made a very subtle and interesting effect. It's not going to change your face. It's just made it a little bit tighter and a little bit more alive.
I'm pleased that I've had this done. It took a little time to think about it, but I'm glad that it's done, and I feel now that my skin is much fresher and more youthful looking, and I'm happy with it.
It's a freedom, it's a liberation of sorts for me.